Why do people say getting laser eye surgery was the best decision I ever made, or it was the best decision of my life? I can tell you from personal experience that they are clearly lying, and this is not a true statement. And if for some reason it is the best decision of their life, then they must lead a really miserable life, one that I could not even imagine how horrible their life must be. Because to go from having to wear glasses or soft contact lenses to not having to wear them is not the best thing that ever happened to you. And if it is the best thing that ever happened to you, then you must be living a really miserable existence. So if you aren't aware of my story, I had PRK back in March of 2017, and I really had no noticeable vision issues until around the end of 2017. So for about almost a year, I had no issues, at least noticeable issues from the surgery. So during this time, did I ever think that, hey, getting laser eye surgery was the best decision I ever made? Of course I didn't. It's something that I thought about once in a while after I got the surgery, but really didn't think much of it. There were times before I developed these vision issues that I completely forgot I even had the surgery to begin with. Getting the laser eye surgery is really not that life-altering in a positive way. Again, assuming you don't have any noticeable issues after the surgery. So I think it's pretty messed up when you see videos of people, such as myself, trying to warn others about the dangers of refractive eye surgery and what these procedures are really like. And you get people commenting like, oh, hey, well, this was the best decision I ever made. And saying that to whoever made the video, who was clearly suffering from these procedures. And for somebody to say that, it's disgusting. When somebody's life has become so miserable and they're suffering so much from these surgeries, and then for you to go in there and to make a comment like that just to kind of rub it in their face, I mean, that really shows like the character of some of these people. Just no empathy at all, just completely just self-absorbed, just horrible people, honestly, to make a comment like that when somebody is in so much pain because of these procedures. The thing too that probably a lot of these people don't realize who make these comments is just because you don't have any issues, or at least noticeable issues right now, doesn't mean that you won't in the future. Also, the integrity, the structure of your eyes has been completely destroyed, regardless if you have issues or not. And also, you're basically predisposed to developing a bunch of horrible issues, not necessarily related to your vision, but could affect your vision, such as post-LASIK corneal ectasia, early onset cataracts, detached retinas. I mean, the list goes on. You're just so much more at risk now after having these surgeries. But most of these people making these comments are probably too stupid to even realize that that's a thing. So basically, my point is, if you end up having the surgery and you don't have any noticeable issues after, and you don't have to wear glasses or soft contact lenses, this is not a life-altering thing by any means. However, if you develop issues, such as myself, a lot of issues after these surgeries, then this becomes a completely life-altering, life-changing thing, and not for the better, but for the worse. Again, I want to state that I did not really even think about the surgery at all after I had it, when I wasn't experiencing any vision issues. But once I started to experience vision issues and my vision drastically got worse and worse and worse, all I was thinking about was the surgery. It was on my mind 24/7, and it has been the worst decision I've ever made in my life, was to get refractive eye surgery. And I can tell you, that's saying a lot, because I've made a lot of bad decisions in my life. Some also life-altering, but none of them have had the impact on my life to the extent that laser eye surgery has had on my life. And this, I can say without a doubt, and is in fact 100% true, that getting laser eye surgery was the worst decision I have ever made. I really wish people would stop making comments about how it was such a great decision to get it. These people are potentially hurting so many other people by misleading them and making them think that these surgeries are something that is a good thing. And there is nothing good about these surgeries. There are a lot of people, such as myself, and I admit it, I did not do my due diligence when it came to actually researching what these procedures were like. I just, knew some people, some friends that said they had it, no issues. And, and I was naive. I was stupid. I believed, what other people said. I believed these deceitful, lying ophthalmologists, and I bought into it without actually doing the research. And I regret that every single day, that I did not actually research what these procedures are really like. I really hope that this video will send the message to people who are continuing to promote these procedures that that is not okay, and you are potentially hurting so many people, and potentially, you're promoting something that could destroy a person's life, regardless if you are aware of that or not. And now you should be aware that what you're doing is really a terrible thing. There is nothing good that comes out of these procedures. Absolutely nothing at all. The best case scenario from getting the surgery is that you don't have to wear corrective lenses for a little, but your eyesight, refractive power will change, and you eventually will have to wear corrective lenses again. And that should be the least of your concerns, because there's so many way worse things that happen than a decrease in refractive power, which again could easily be corrected with glasses or soft contact lenses. So, getting laser eye surgery, if you don't know by now, after having watched all my videos, was the worst decision of my life. Until next time, stay strong, warriors.